A supporter of the Canadian Freedom Convoy that had terrorized residents in Ottawa is now feeling a little bit of remorse for his role. Now, in an interview with the CBC, Martin Joseph Engelhardt said that he had gotten involved in the Convoy protests earlier this year, even though he actually never had a stance in the vaccine mandates. Okay, so then if you didn't have a stance, why get involved? Like, that's super weird, super sketchy. I don't know if I believe him. Because, like, okay, if you didn't have a stance, then why even get involved? That's super bizarre. Now, he says that he had started out helping the convoy by delivering fuel and laundry, as they had occupied major cities, including key bridges used as major trade routes. Now, soon after, however, he started donating more money, lots and lots of money. In fact, from January 28th to February 14th, bank statements provided to the CBC showed Engelhardt transferring thousands of dollars and had spent thousands more at a gas station near Coventry Road, where he was stationed for the majority of the protests. At the end of the day, he spent his entire life savings. Oops. And guess what? As a result, he is now living in an SUV. Engelhardt is currently living out of his SUV, as he said his landlord kicked him out over his point of view concerning the protest. Engelhardt tells CBC that he regrets that he now has nothing left, and that also the protests had disrupted life for so many Ottawa residents. Yes, this was nicknamed the honkening, because they would stay up all night honking their horns and keeping people awake. They would also threaten people with masks, yell at them, sometimes doing assault. So yeah, there's some issues here. Okay. Now he said to the CBC, quote, "I would like to apologize to the people in Ottawa. I'm sorry. All I wanted to do was to help people." Help people what? What are you helping people do? Die of COVID? I mean, that's the purpose, right? The whole purpose of the protest. Well, I can't say the whole purpose, right? Because I think there are several different goals here. One was to attack the U.S. vaccine mandates for the truckers going across the border, okay, as a Canadian, and to attack vaccine mandates there and home. And so, okay, there's that. And then, of course, there was also the attacks on Justin Trudeau. I'm not a fan of Trudeau, but they essentially wanted him to resign, kick him out of office. And so now the thing about these protests, though, is that a lot of them, a lot of the funding, not all of it, of course, a large part did come from US-based right-wingers in the United States. And some of the organizers were neo-Nazis. Now, of course, not everybody who was part of this protest is a neo-Nazi. This guy, I don't think this guy's a neo-Nazi. But look, I think this guy's a low information person. I think he got sucked into the propaganda, and unfortunately for him, he lost everything. There's nothing left for him. Now, I'm not saying that you should like feel super bad for him. You can if you want. I think he made his bed. I think he's going to have to lie in it. And sure, I think we can all agree that getting kicked out, and becoming homeless, that's not a good thing. That's a terrible thing. I don't want anybody to be homeless, right? But at the same time, nobody forced him to spend all of his money to give him up to these truckers. But at the same time, this is what happens when people get put into conspiracy theories. Like, he was duped. Unfortunately, it's the same thing that happens with cults. The people who are involved at the bottom, they end up with no money, sometimes no home, and maybe with someone else fucking their wife. That's usually what happens, at least more so in cult, but nonetheless, not a good ending for this guy. Maybe, hopefully, he'll learn something from this and can make a recovery, on the right side and not fall for this kind of bullshit again. That's really what I hope. I hope he'll learn from this, and I hope he'll become a better person and start making better decisions.